Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not to continue the Smallville retrospective, with season 1, episode 3, HotHead. Well, this sure was an episode. The episode, the Meteor Freak of the Week, is the Coach Walt. So basically, he's played by Dan Lauria. So basically, you have the dad from the Wonder Years who can control fire. However, they don't really use it to its full potential. You know, he can manipulate fire, but it doesn't really play a big part. It's here and there. This episode also rehashes something from the pilot episode, something we already seen, which is Clark playing football. We've already been through that. John doesn't want to play it because he doesn't think that in the heat of the moment he'll be able to control his powers. So the story here is that a bunch of the football players were caught cheating by Principal Kwan. This is his first appearance. And so they're suspended after winning their most recent game. The next game will be the coach's 200th win. So, yeah, he's kind of screwed here. A bunch of the players. Whitney's not one of them that is suspended, but Lana has an existential crisis and quits the cheerleading squad and gets a job at the beanery, although she does get fired eventually, but you know. Meanwhile, in the B plot, Lex has been told by his father, his father's lackey, Dominic Santori, the first appearance of Dominic Santori, played by Jason Connery. He's been told that his father wants him to cut his workforce at the plant by 20%. But he resolves to hire 20% more instead. And his dad comes in. We get the first appearance in modern day of John Glover's Lionel Luthor. And my stance has always been this. Lex isn't a full-on villain yet because his father is more the villain. And as the show goes on, Lionel becomes less of a villain and Lex becomes more of a villain. By the time that Lionel's time on the show ends, he's become sort of an ally and Lex has become an antagonist. So it's kind of like they switch by the time their times have ended. It's ironically in the same season. But anyway, so yeah. And Lex eventually comes up with an idea to, I don't understand what he tries to do. He's putting out, I don't know. He fixes it. He comes up with an idea to fix it. I never got what he tries to do here. But yeah. So on to the Coach plot. The Coach, it turns out that the Coach may have supplied the team with the test, and Chloe is on the case to figure out, to do the interview and sneak around and see if anything shady is going on, right? And so the Coach realizes he has fire powers, and it comes from the fact that his personal hotbox, the sauna, is filtered with meteor rocks. He has meteor rocks on the bottom and heat them up, and it's going through his meteor rocks, so it gives him the ability to control fire, I guess. And it happens, it starts when Principal Kwan tells him, hey, I'm going to suspend them, and then he hits the towel on the thing, and fire comes in. And later, there's another confrontation where he sets the TV on fire. What the hell's going on here, Coach? And then he tries to set Quan on fire, but Clark saves the day, because of course he does. And then Coach holds a secret meeting with the football players to figure out who is responsible. Trevor, played by David Petco, in his only appearance in the show, he could be recurring, but this is the only time I think we see him. He says, he comes forward and says he did it, and the coach gets really mad, and the sprinklers start sprinkling fire, which is really weird. And Chloe gets this picture. So, because the players have, kind of going all over the place, because the players are suspended, Clark has been added to the team. Against his father's wishes, but he's doing it anyway. And he kind of did it to be close to Lana, but Lana's now quit the cheerleading squad so she can do other things. And Clark's trying to prove that he can be trusted. First thing he does is that he shows off, because he takes the hits. He pretends to get that it hurts him when he falls down. But then the coach is like, man, get your head in the game, come on. Get aggressive. And so then he kind of shows off a little bit, and that's when Jonathan gets up and leaves. So one night Trevor meets with Chloe. He doesn't really tell her anything, but the coach catches him and burns his arm. So he burns his arm. And when Clark eventually finds Trevor, he finds he's hiding with a bunch of fire extinguishers, and he shows him his burn. And so Clark has decided to quit. He's done with the football team, and but everyone's there for the big game, including Jonathan and Martha. But Clark's nowhere to be found because Clark has an altercation with the coach. But he gets affected by the meteor rocks, and he gets knocked out, laying in the personal hot box. Coach locks him in. And then the coach goes out in the field to play the football game. Or the coach football game, excuse me. Jonathan realizes something's wrong, and he and Chloe split up. Meanwhile, Clark is throwing meteor rocks. He's somehow able to hold on to them and throw them, break the window. And Jonathan finds him. But the coach has followed him. It leads to a confrontation where the coach is using the fire. But Clark is now healed. And this leads to the 2001 bad CGI shot of the episode where Clark walks through the fire. But it's made me go, because it's a composite shot of him just walking through, and And there's an earlier scene where the coach tries to convince him. He goes, "You got talent like your old man. It's in your genes." And Clark just goes, "I'm adopted." So here, he walks through the fire, and the coach says, "How'd you do that?" He just looks at him and goes, "It's in the genes." And it knocks him out. And then the coach decides his big plan to finish this off is to just set everything on fire. Set himself on fire. Big flame thing. Basically killing himself. And yeah, I don't know. I'm like, it's a stupid idea. And then kind of Clark and Jonathan make up, and we have the wraparound scene with the Kents. And then Clark and Lana are on the football field and scream out real loud because they both quit. Lana was fired from her coffee job, and Clark quit the football team. There is a funny scene where they go to the beanery, and the next orders a cappuccino, Clark a coffee. Clark gets a regular coffee, but Lana likes this weird drink, and they make a cheer, and they drink, and Lana leaves, and Clark goes, "Is that even what you ordered?" He's like, "No, not at all." Or, not even close. So it made me laugh. And Mike Orthenbaum, he has his moments on the show. Is really good. Dan Loria, I love you, Mr. Arnold, but he's not used in the way he should be in this episode. He's got this firepower, and he uses it for petty gain. He just wants to win his 200th game, which he does, but he wasn't even there to see it. Like, I suppose he dies, I guess. I don't know if he'd survive that, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Also, confirmation that Pete is on the football team in this episode. I didn't know if he made it. I forgot if he made it, and you wouldn't know it until this episode. He's there. And there's going to put where the coach is like, hey, look at Ross here. Now, look at talent. But he has heart. He's like, look, thanks, coach, I guess. But yeah, this episode's going to get a 2 out of 5 Superman logos for me. It's just not one that I'm ever interested in going back to. But the next one I think is a memorable one. It introduces a villainess that comes back one more time, but she's effective. And I think, Dan Lauria, I guess, is someone you could know, but this is someone who would go on. Dan Lauria was already big before that. He's already in stuff before this, but I think this next actress we have is someone, it's one of those, there's a lot of them on Smallville where we have these actors or actresses that come in, like Chad Denella even, like he was in Final Destination before this, the year before this, but then he goes on to do other things after this, but this is an actress that we're going to do a lot of things after this, but that's the next episode. So, what are your thoughts on HotHead? Let me know in the comments below if you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.